starting at $749. We have the REDMAGIC 11 Pro. This is an Android-based phone from the company REDMAGIC, and it's a bit different from last year's, the 10 Pro, and from the very popular 10 Air. I reviewed both of those phones, in the last year or so, and what I've found overall is that this extra thickness and the cooling that comes with it, just the candy bar feel of this phone, it's super different from other phones, and I like that about it. So if you're into gaming and you want a phone that's gonna, keep cool, this is the direction to go, and I don't really know of many other alternatives. So yeah, that's cool. But if you're looking for a phone that has a nice big screen with a high refresh rate, an overall excellent build quality, and I don't know, you just wanna have something different, a starting price of $750 is pretty good in this market. The specs on this thing are pretty intense. So we're gonna walk through those in one whole section, and then I'm gonna give you a tour of the operating system, a better look at the outside the phone as well. And that way you get an idea of what you're getting into. I might do a couple videos on this phone just because I'm an iPhone user and my days of Android are pretty far behind me at this point. So I need to put more time into this. And those other REDMAGIC phones I mentioned, it's been a while since I reviewed them and had my hands on them. So I don't quite have that memory in place. So let's start with the basics in terms of specifications. The height on this phone is about 164 millimeters. The width is 76.5 millimeters. It has a depth of just under 9 millimeters and it weighs 230 grams. Part of that weight comes from everything that goes into this thing. It's a mostly metal frame. It does have Corning Gorilla Glass on the front and the back, so it can be a bit on the slippery side, but the other side of it is it's super cool to use and touch. It has a, let's go to display, 6.85 inch display, running at full HD plus. We'll go into that in a moment when I get to the operating system. It has a refresh rate of 144 hertz, but it's variable, so we'll talk about that too. A touch sampling rate of 3000 hertz, multi-finger sampling rate of 360 hertz, and an aspect ratio of 20:9, so a bit different there too. This is an AMOLED display with peak brightness at 800 nits, so it gets super bright, which is great for outdoor. When I reviewed the 10 Pro, it was in the summertime, and I used it a lot outside because it was sunny, and using my iPhone wasn't as good, plus it would get hot. This gets bright and keeps pretty cool considering the way that it's built with the fans. With the cooling and the fan that's in there too. Okay, it is Corning Gorilla Glass on the front, and that resolution is 2688 by 1216. I'm gonna say it one more time, 2688 by 1216, because repeating it's a lot easier than putting text on the thing if I were to edit this video, which I'm too lazy to do. Okay, that cooling system, they call it the Aqua Core cooling system. So this blue that you're seeing back here, I know this is reflective, I'll do my best to hold it steady. This will spin when you start really rocking the device. So if you turn the cooling mode on, this will start going in a circle. So I'll do that here, hang on. All right, now this is the gaming mode. It's activated with this toggle over here. You can also have this is just the default settings. I haven't changed anything, by the way. I should probably mention that. All I did is sign in to my Android account, and I didn't even charge the phone yet. So like this 24% is from the last week or so of just very light usage. I do not have a data plan or a cellular plan attached to this. I'm just using it at my house with my Wi-Fi because I just don't have a spare SIM that I could do that with. So anyhow, this is what you get out of the box. All of this stuff, like Facebook, you gotta get rid of. I mean, if it's me, I'm getting rid of. I'm getting rid of TikTok, I'm getting rid of Facebook, I'm getting rid of Booking.com. So a little bit of what I consider bloat, your opinion may be different. Block Blast, not bloat. Block Blast is super addictive. I like it. Okay, so you can turn the fan on with this widget. Come on. You get a cool sound and animation. So now the fan here is spinning. It's gonna be impossible for me to show you. You can kind of see it actually. That's spinning. And if we were to turn it on to cool mode, you can hear the fans. And when you plug it in, now you see the liquid starting to move. Isn't that cool? I think that's really cool. So you get liquid, you can see the liquid through all this entire area. And then you got the blue underneath the fan here. And you've got this adjustable LED here too. So you just have this nice blue theme all the way, almost all the way around, like down here on the sides, over here on the sides rather. This side you got some blue as well. So it's just like blue everywhere. I think that's a really neat look. But your gaming mode toggle is still this orange red, which is nice as well. So it'll detect your games, and then you can change your settings. I showed this quite a bit. Sorry for that. I showed this quite a bit in a previous video with the 10 Pro and the 10 Air. So I'll just kind of quickly go through it here. But you have your game lobby where you can pick your game. You can launch from here. You can change your settings, like your controller settings, or if you want to stream it, how you're streaming it. You can change some of your themes as well for this overall mapping here. So I go like that, hit apply. Now my background's different. There's they call Super Bass, where you can do even more. You can manage your plugins. And I believe there are some stats in here too. I'll have to come back to that another time. And there's a little bit of AI, so there's behavioral learning for how you like to use controls. And to exit this, you just hit the toggle the other direction and out you go. Okay, I missed a couple of specs that I got enthralled by the cooling. This is a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, which used to mean a lot to me when I was on the Androids. Now, it doesn't mean a whole lot to me other than I know this is the latest and greatest from Snapdragon. Now, the RAM configurations vary. You can either do 12 gigs, 16 gigs, or 24 gigs of RAM. It's LPDDR5T. The storage varies from 256 gigs to 512 gigs to a full terabyte, and it's UFS 4.1 Pro. So depending on your configuration, you may have access to different RAM than others. So there's a configurator on their website. Prices are at $750, and you can go from there. It does have dual nano SIM support. There's no eSIM support. It does support 5G and 4G. Also 3G and 2G. It just depends on the bands, and that will affect you depending on where you live. Here, I probably wouldn't be able to really get this to work very well on my networks that I have access to, but maybe. I don't know. Okay, the front camera is a 16 megapixel camera with AI algorithm enhancements. We'll have to take a look at that. And there's a fingerprint reader. There's Face ID or face recognition for unlocking. And this is based on Android 16 for now. REDMAGIC have been good about Android updates, so we'll see what the future holds. We have, a 75 milliamp hour battery. One of the things I loved about the 10 Pro is the battery life is fantastic. You can fast charge up to 80 watts. There is a charger included in the box, which is great. That's what you want. Okay, so that's a lot of stuff I just hit you with, and now I just knocked my camera. So we're gonna have to take a look now at the operating system and all the fun stuff that comes here. So as I mentioned, you're gonna have, let's chill out here, game fan. You're gonna have some bloatware, in my opinion. I already deleted a couple of things. I may want to get rid of a few more things. Actually, it seems pretty clean at this point. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way it looks now. But hey, Block Blast is awesome. Whenever you launch a game, you have the option to enable their automatic fan mode. So depending on the game, you might want to do that. I don't really need it for Block Blast. This is it. Block Blast is not that kind of game. If you want to know what it's like and join the addiction, this is a game that's a bit like Tetris in terms of the shapes, although you cannot rotate the tiles. I don't know what else to call them. You can't rotate the tiles. They just are the tiles that you get. And you're just trying to clear these. Why am I turning this video into a demo of Block Blast? Anyway, this is a fun game, all right? And there are a ton of ads. And you can keep going, too. If you end up not having space for everything, it'll allow you to watch an ad and keep going, which I try not to do because I want to know what my peer score is, and it's not very good. But my 9-year-old doesn't understand that, and she just thinks that she's so much better than me at the game, and she probably is. Okay, now outside of that, you've got your Android operating system. So standard Android situation where you can personalize your themes. You have access to a lot of personalization. The overlay that REDMAGIC uses, the launcher I should say, is pretty clean Android in my opinion. Again, it's based on how I used to use Android back in the day. There are some uniquenesses because this phone is built to show color and show the fan and show the cooling the way that it does. You got some options here. So You can turn on the liquid cooling, you know, if you want to. You can change the pace. So right now it's set to quick, and we'll move it to slow. I prefer quick. So let's move it back. This is pretty warm, by the way, just already, but it's fast charging right now and it charges very fast. Okay, then you have your REDMAGIC AI. Actually, let's come to the AI in a moment. Let's go back to the light strip. So you can change your settings here quite a bit. You can change the lighting mode. So you can change the color, it's set to blue right now. You can change it to like, you know, reddish pink if you wanted to. I'm gonna go back to blue. Hopefully that's the same blue. It is. Okay, and then you can change the pattern and when it turns on, like what triggers it. And you can change the color of this fan as well. So I go to fan, I can change it to this like magenta color, but I'm gonna keep it to blue. You can tell I'm not very original. But you can also have the lighting effects. You know, if you were to set your phone down like this on your counter, you can have the lighting effects operate differently based on what's going on at the phone. If you're getting a call, you're getting a text, or some kind of other personalized notification, you can change it there. Okay, let's see, features. There's some standard Android stuff in here, like gestures and stuff like that. Okay, back to the AI. So everybody's got an AI thing. You have the REDMAGIC AI. This is kind of neat. I haven't looked at this yet. AI wallpaper based on a suggestion. So let's say I suggested Zelda. I hope this is worth the wait. Oh my gosh, it's taking a while. Okay, well, they got that right. That is Princess Zelda, pretty much. That's pretty cool. All right, hopefully I don't get some kind of strike for that. One-tap privacy sticker masking. What does that mean? Oh, okay, got it. Google Translate, I mean, so forth and so on. So there are a bunch of, that's cool, an AI notepad. That's really helpful. Okay. Jiminy Christmas. Oh my gosh. All right. That's cool. You've probably seen this before with any other AI tool. You just give it an idea and it spits out an article or a summary of what you're trying to say. So that's pretty cool too. All right. So that's your first look at the REDMAGIC 11 Pro. I do have the Air coming. I'll do a side-by-side video. I think that would be really helpful just so you can get an idea of how much thicker this is or louder the fans can be. But until then, hope you found this helpful. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.